Hey guys, it's Meg. I am here this week with a new video for you. This is going to be our standard tarot reading for the week. So if you guys want to get a message from the cards, please come on in, have a seat, get comfortable, and we'll get to the cards. Just a few housekeeping things. Number one, if you like what you see in the video, please go ahead and click the like, subscribe, and the bell buttons. That lets me know that you like what I'm making for you guys and you want to see more from me. I have also listed my my links, all of the links you'll need to get in touch with me, my website. I have also given you a list of the decks I've used for this reading, and there is a bonus reading at the end of this video, so that will be timestamped in the description. So if you want to just skip over the main reading and go to that, that's fine too. Look in the description, it's all there. What else? Okay, I am taking private readings at this time. If you guys are interested in that, it's available to you. Please know that that is an option, not an obligation. So if you see this reading and you can't contribute in that way, that's okay. Don't worry about it. Please just follow your heart where that is concerned. So I hope you all are doing okay. I have been kind of homebound lately, in part because I've been a little bit ill. I'm okay, thankfully, but it has been dumping buckets of rain in my area, and that comes with a bit of concern because I am in an area that tends to flood. Um, Again, I'm okay, nothing serious seems to be happening. However, there are people in areas that are seriously affected by all the rain. So, if you are in that area, my heart is with you. I am hoping that everybody is okay. And if you, yeah, if you are safe, that is what counts, right? So, let's get into the cards. If you are new, and I have gained a couple of subscribers on this channel, which makes me very happy. So if you are a new subscriber and you are watching, thank you so much for being here. I love you, I appreciate you, and I hope that something of my work helps you. Okay? So let's get into the cards. This is for gratitude and friendship for every one of you for being here. Thank you so much. Let's see what we need to see. Okay, so we're going to start with our oracles. We have the Firefly. Okay, we have the Horse. Care for others and let them be free. Okay, we have You're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. Okay, and we have Peaks of Joy. Okay, so here's what's interesting about this is that there's something in your space that lights you up. You're doing something for yourself and for others that lights you up, that makes you feel very happy, very bright, very open. And you are doing it out of a desire to genuinely help. You have this Horse card here. So if you're seeing this, you're likely someone with a big heart, with a very big, generous, loving, open heart, and being helpful, being kind, being helpful in ways that make you happy is like that's the top level for you. You're at your highest energy. Um, you know, that that being in a place to help people is what you are passionate about. However, there's a little feeling in you that perhaps you're not doing you're not doing enough. You're not doing what everybody else says you should be doing, and therefore you feel very insecure about the way that you move forward with this energy. Well, you have your message right here. You don't have to think so hard about this, especially because your heart becomes very full when you're at when you can feel it your most helpful. Okay, be careful how yeah, just be careful with this energy. I do think that there is a tendency um for caregivers or just people who generally do a lot of empathetic work. I think there's a tendency to give until burnout, and that's not going to serve you, especially when you are trying to help. Okay, and I hope that makes sense. So let's get into our tarot reading for. Let's get into our tarot. Okay. So in the spirit of our oracle energy, show us what we need to see. Okay. Okay. So the first card, and this is actually one that popped off the top of the deck, but the first card we have from our tarot is the World card. So something is coming back around, there's a sense of this energy, at least in part, being completed. That's interesting. There's a cycle of this energy ending in part, and I think this is a beautiful companion to the Horse card, because it says, take care of others and let them be free. Okay, and so you've come to a point where you have done what you can do for everybody else. Okay, and I'm gonna interpret this as now it's time to do for yourself what you have done for others. Okay, and if that's making a safe space for them, if that's making a place where they can be themselves, give yourself that same love and energy too. Okay, because again, you're doing a lot of work for others that can easily be focused on yourself too. I think part of your insecurity in doing that might come from the idea that it's selfish. Doing that is selfish. Why would I think of myself that way when there's a larger world in need? That's fair. I do think that's fair, but I'm going to use the cliche here. You can't give from an empty cup. It's not going to do you any good to try and it's not gonna do you any good to try and pour out the dregs of whatever's in your cup, because that isn't gonna help anybody, right? Sometimes you need to take a time out, and I think that's what this World card is saying, that yeah, it's time to take a time out so you can refill your cup. Okay, can refill your cup, and it's going to do you no good to dim your light by not having your full fuel tank, if that makes sense. Okay, so there's the World. We also have the Ten of Earth. So this is something you've worked really hard for, because you have the resources, whether that's financial, but certainly an emotional abundance to give to people. And you have things besides that to help you take care yourself too. Okay. But certainly you've given so much. You've definitely given so much. But again, don't necessarily close the door permanently, but again, take some time to rest. Turn whatever loving attention you've given to others on yourself, because sometimes that self-care is going to help you replenish what you've given to others. Again, going back to the cup metaphor, it's going to help you refill your cup, right? So again, with the cliche. There you go. 10 of Earth. Okay, and we also have the 6 of Air coming up too. So this is okay. I'm going to pick the World card back up here. We're in a period of transition, a period of movement forward, and there's been a lot of people, a lot of attention given to helping others through this time, and you're going through it too, right? You're probably feeling a lot. You've probably taken on a lot of energy from other people, okay? And again, I'm saying that because I'm sensing that there are some of you who are deeply empathic and are working to help, which is great. I love you guys for being here, for being there for others, but be there for yourself too, okay? Now back to the 6 of Air, the 6 of Swords here. Things are moving on, and that energy, coupled with the fact that you're taking care of everybody else at this time, may have you feeling like you're battling this alone, when you're not. You're certainly not, because and I think of the people that you have been working to help, there's someone in that group who's going to turn around and help you do the same loving work for yourself as you have done for them. Okay. So there's the 6 of Swords, 6 of Air. Okay. Now for our hidden energy, we have the King of Fire. So you have the King of Fire, the King of Wands. Again, we're going back to the bright, sunny, warm. We're going back to that theme here. There's certainly a very passionate, fiery person in you. And that, again, helping people, helping others, just giving of yourself is something that lights you up. Again, you're an authority over how you're feeling, how passionately you're feeling about this time, about the things that you're doing in this time. Also, it's funny. I like that we're getting all of this light, this fire, because we just had the new moon in Aries, and so there's a lot of bold, passionate, fiery energy. And that's coming through. You're in authority over what's going on. Okay. Yeah, the beautiful thing is that you use that fire to help a lot of people. But again, don't be afraid to turn that energy on yourself too. So that's our hidden energy. We also have the Messenger of Water, or the Knight of Cups. There's an opportunity to grow in terms of your spiritual and emotional states. And I think taking a little bit of time out to allow that to start it's going to help. That's funny. I'm saying that because I always get the King of Fire or the Knight of Cups. King of Fire, King of Wands, Knight of Cups, or the Messenger of Water. These two cards, plus a couple of others, have come out quite quite often whenever I use this deck. So I think the theme of that is go forward with your goals as boldly as you feel compelled to go, and know that things are changing. You've done the best you could for everybody else. It's time to do for you. Okay? It's time to do for you. All right? So let's clarify why we are seeing each of these cards here. Why are we seeing the World card, please? Let's see what we need to see here. Okay, so we're seeing the World card. We have the Queen of Pentacles coming out first. So with this change, with this transition, there is going to have to be a practical plan enacted for yourself. So if you're being called to take some time out, take some time out and replenish your cup here. What are you going to do? How are you going to do that? What are you going to do? How are you going to do that? In this time, you're also making growth happen, and take some time to nurture that growth, because you are learning and you are changing. Okay, so there is the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, we also see the World in reverse. They're having the World in reverse, which is interesting because we have the World upright here. There may be things that come back around for you. There's some things that aren't necessarily solved. Excuse me. There's some things that aren't necessarily solved or haven't necessarily been looked at, and those things will come up again. Right now, if you don't have the energy to put to addressing those things, that's okay. Just keep in mind that whatever this energy is, you will have to look at it again at some point. Okay. And there may still be some energy in your space that is going to have to be cleared. But again, give yourself time to replenish so you can do that. Okay, you can do that clearing when it comes up. Okay, so there's the World in reverse. Okay, let's see our Ten of Earth card, Ten of Pentacles here. Why are we seeing that? Okay, we have, all right, for the Ten of Earth, the Ten of Pentacles, we have the Five of Pentacles. So you are very much Ten of Pentacles, you want that abundance. You want to maintain that abundance. But like I said, right now, it's a likelihood that you feel depleted. Your cup is a little bit on the empty side, and it's time to take some time out to return those resources to yourself. And that may require you to step back from what you are doing. And like I said, don't close that door permanently, but close it long enough for you to heal. Close it long enough for you to heal, and then you can come back to what you were doing. Okay. There's the Five of Pentacles. Yeah. Also, I don't know if you can see that character. I'm gonna get it up close here. You don't don't let yourself get so mired in in the negativity of what you're trying to heal, um, because that's not going to help you heal. I'm getting there because this character is not really looking at it's not looking at this. I'm gonna interpret that as a butterfly there. She's not seeing that things have come things have come to pass. Things are blooming. New life is being given, but you know, this character is so depleted that they don't see that. Okay, I don't want that for you, especially because the work you're trying to do for others is helpful. Okay, and people do see that. Um, but you need to take some time out to see it for yourself. Again, hope that helps. There's our Five of Pentacles, and we also have here's another repeat card. We also have the Knight of Cups. So again, there's a call for you to again step back, let yourself heal, and do some growth in terms of your emotional and spiritual uh, areas. That's the best word I can put to that. Ultimately, this is about taking action, and using your emotion and what you feel as a way of taking action. Okay, and you'll know what that looks like for you. So there is the Knight of Cups. Okay. Again, interesting that we have that as a repeat card. Okay. So let's see our Six of Air. Why are we seeing the Six of Air, please? What are we seeing for our Six of Air card here? Okay. Six of Air is this transition moving forward here. And interestingly enough, we have the Moon card coming out here. So part of this is a little murky. And yeah, part of this is a little murky. Part of you might be feeling part of you might be feeling insecure because you don't know how to move forward. Okay. And I think certainly in the larger context, you're possibly overwhelmed with how much is actually going on, and I'm just envisioning you taking on the weight of the world. Okay, that is, I think that's par for the course with some empaths. I do think it's possible you don't have to shoulder it alone. Okay, because remember we have the Six of Air, the Six of Swords. Okay, so you're not taking that on alone. But back to the Moon card here. There's again, you're overwhelmed with how much is actually going on, but you're also overwhelmed by the fact that you're not really seeing how you've done your work. You're not really seeing how your work has helped others, and that going back to the Five of Pentacles, the risk in that is that you're so lost in the negativity of that emotion that you don't see it actually has. Okay. Again, I'm hoping this makes sense, but there's the Moon. Okay, and of course we're clarifying the Six of Air right now. You're moving forward, but you're not really seeing it just yet. Okay, it's okay. Okay, let's see what else we need to see here. Yeah, we have the King of Pentacles. So the flip side of that is that you're in authority. If you don't feel good or right if you don't have a good idea of how you've helped in that. You have. I think instinctively, intuitively, you have. Even if you don't see immediate results, or even if people don't immediately tell you, oh, thank you so much for doing this for me, this, that, and the other, you're still an authority over the things that you can give. And again, maybe taking some time out to understand what those things are, that might be prudent too. But the other thing with the King of Pentacles, I always give in readings like this, is that the King of Pentacles is someone who really knows their person, who knows what they're about, what their self-worth looks like, what kinds of things they have at their disposal, and how to use them in a way that takes care of others and themselves. Okay, I think that's perfect for the theme of this reading, right? So even if you don't see the way forward right now, there's the Six of Air and the Moon card here. You still have things that are part of you that aren't negotiable. Okay, that's your self-worth and your self-esteem. Okay, so there's the King of Pentacles. Okay, now we have the King of Fire. Okay, so let's see what we need to see for our King of Fire here. Why are we seeing the King of Fire? We have the Eight of Cups. Again, with the transition, there has been some seriously disappointing things happening to you. Now, part of your insecurity in doing your work here, doing your work as an empath, is that people may have taken advantage. People may have taken, people may have taken advantage of you. People may have backstabbed you, used you. Just their gain came before your help actually being. What am I trying to say here? People have used your good nature, your kindness, your empathic energy to negative effect. Okay, and that's, like I said, that could be backstabbing, taking advantage of, using. That's not. Oh, I don't like seeing that. I'm sorry to see that. And unfortunately, I think that happens to us all at some point. That's a disappointment. That's fair to say. However, now it's up to us to leave all of that behind and move on. Okay, as hard as that is going to be, there are some people who will just take and take without thinking of the consequence of that, right? It's time to move on from that negativity, because now we are we're in a place where we're going to have to remove ourselves from that situation so we can relight this fire, so we can come back to an understanding of our own self-worth, and moving on from that disappointment is going to have to happen if we want to do that. Okay, so there's the Eight of Cups. Okay, and we have the Two of Swords here. So in this, there's a choice. There's always a choice, whether we stay or whether we go. I always see the Two of Swords as, the yes, stay or go. There's some information that we could be missing in this, and I think part of why we're being called to step back is so we can gather what we are missing. But also the Two of Wands energy is coming back up in my mind because I'm seeing that there is an open gate. There will, yeah, the gate is open, and whether we take the pause or not is up to us. Okay, so let's go into clarifying our messenger of water or Knight of Cups here. So why are we seeing our Knight of Cups? Okay, we have the we have the Hierophant in reverse. So this, there, along the way, we've kind of lost sight of ourselves, of our personhood, of what we know to be right for ourselves and our personal truths. Maybe we've lost touch with our intuitive voice, and this is why we need to take a step back from our empathic work and work on healing. Again, like I said, if we turned as much of the love and care and attention as we give to others, if we turned that on ourselves, I wonder how much stronger we could come back into doing that work, right? And by that work, I mean helping people in the larger context. Okay. Again, going back to the original point here, we've done so much. We've done so much for others. How much are we doing for ourselves, right? This is what we need to pause and figure out. Okay, pause and figure it out so we can get this back up right. Okay. Anyway, there's the Hierophant. Let's see the Three of Pentacles. So here's our Three of Pentacles. What I'm sensing here is that there's going to need to be a balance struck, and this is also why we're taking a step back here, so that we can figure out what we need to do. But on top of that, we may need to reach out for some help, for some perspective, and given the other cards, this needs to be someone we can trust. Okay. But certainly striking a balance between what you're doing for yourself and what you're doing for others. Okay. All right. There is the Three of Pentacles. Okay. Alrighty. Let's pause for a minute and process everything. I know it's been quite a lot of information, and I'm going to have a water break, so this is your reminder to hydrate if you haven't done so already. Cheers. Okay. So let's continue with our reading here. Just a note on this deck. The deck I'm about to use is the Tarot of Mystical Moments by Catrin Wells. Yeah, I think I got the name of that right. It'll be listed in the description. But there are extra cards for the Emperor and the King, so if I get both sets out, I'll be drawing extra cards from this if I get those extra cards out together. So hang in there with me on this, but we will see what we need to see. Okay. So let's see what else we need to know for this reading, please. What else do we need to know? What else? Okay. So, ooh, the first card we have for what else we need to know, we have the Eight of Pentacles. So there's mm, there's been a very diligent effort put into your work so far, and this is meaningful work to you. I'm sensing this is very meaningful work for you, helping people, being empathic, being loving, being caring. That means a lot to you. And that is very important that um, you do the best you can to help others. Okay. Um, and again, tapping back into that insecure feeling, like, is what I'm doing really helping? Yeah, it is. It is. Even if you don't see it right now, you will start seeing the fruit of that labor come to bloom. Okay. So there's the Eight of Pentacles. Okay. Let's see what else. Okay, we also have the Eight of Cups here. So yeah, again, there's some disappointments that you need to turn your back on and move on from. Okay. Um, and doing that work, even, going all the way back to a moon card, even if you don't see the path forward, you're being compelled to go anyway, because holding on to the disappointment isn't easy. But here's the other thing. Okay, you might not have light from this outside source. You might not be seeing the sun. You might not be seeing the stars. But remember that you have the Firefly. You have the King of Wands. You have the King of Wands. You have a light in you that isn't negotiable. Remember what I said, you can't put that light out. You cannot put your lamp out, because you're being called to move forward. Okay, move forward in spite of the darkness around you. The light that you're seeing is your light. Okay, and by not turning that loving energy on yourself, it will dim. That light will dim, but it can't go out completely. Again, because that's part of your that's the part of you that isn't negotiable. Okay. So yeah, there's the Eight of Cups. Okay. Let's see what else we need to see. We also have the Knight of Pentacles. So we're taking action on growing, again, on growing. But this could be material, this could be financial, but it could also be, again, now I'm stuck. We're moving on. Okay, we're moving on to find a different field to water. Okay, and when we get there, when we do find that field, it's going to be up to us to tend it, to nurture it, to take action on setting down new roots and tending to new goals. Okay, and doing this work is going to, again, allow us to come back to the kinds of things that we were hoping to achieve. Again, hope that makes sense. Okay, we have the King of Cups coming out here. So this is an emotional time for you. I do think this is, there's some things coming up in your emotional space that do need to be addressed. But at the core of you, you understand that I'm feeling what I'm feeling, but I'm going to analyze them rather than react. Okay? I don't need to be impulsive. I don't need to be necessarily quick-footed in this, and by that I don't need to, again, I don't need to be impulsive. What I mean here is that I'm going to look at what I'm feeling and see how I can use whatever I'm feeling in order to help heal myself, refill my cup, and then get back out the door when the time is right. Okay. So there's the King of Cups. Okay, that was our hidden energy. Our clarifying energy is the Ten of Wands. Okay, and so here's that weight of the world energy. Okay, here's that weight of the world energy because you've taken on this responsibility. You've taken on this responsibility, and it's okay to feel overwhelmed. But again, you also know how to use that overwhelm to your advantage. Okay. You know how to use that overwhelm to your advantage because you're going to have to take action. Another thing with the Knight of Pentacles. Sorry, this is the Knight of Pentacles. Thing with this energy here is that it can be slow moving and it's going to take patience. Okay. Yeah, give it some time. Again, I think that's borne out by the Eight of Pentacles here and the Eight of Cups. Okay, give yourself time. Okay, give yourself time to analyze and to clear the burden. Okay. So let's see what else we need to see, please. What else do we need to see? Okay, what else do we need to see? It's our final portion of the reading, and we're going to get into our bonus. Okay, let's see what else. Okay, so for our first card here, we have the Seven of Wands. So there has been some conflict. There has been some emotional things that have come up for you at this time, and you've had to look at it and again analyze it without putting too much of emotion into it. Well, what I really mean to say there is that you've had to defend yourself in this position, and again, there have been some people who you've tried to help that have hurt you, that have just taken without thinking about the consequence to you, and that has caused you to feel hurt, and that has given you reason to put up a barrier, to stand in defense of yourself. And ouch, part of that is ouch, part of that hurts. But again, I want you to pay attention to this character at the top here, that she knows it's there. This character knows that the wolves are outside her door. But even if she is feeling afraid, even if they are feeling afraid, they're sitting back and taking that fear and using it to game plan, rather than running and hiding. They're standing their ground. And at this point, that's what you've had to do, or that's what you are doing. Okay. So there's the Seven of Wands. Okay. Let's see what else. Ooh, we have the Chariot. That is an interesting that is an interesting card to have come out. And I say that because part of this, yes, we're moving on. Yes, we're finding new ground. Part of this is having the clarity. Yeah, part of this is having clarity over that. While I don't necessarily think the path is completely clear, I think you do have a good sense that whatever is in the situation, um, whatever's holding you back in the situation needs to be let go of so you can move forward even if you don't see the path forward, right? Um, Basically, you know you need to move on even if you don't know what your first steps are going to be, okay? Um, mhm. Yeah, let's go with that. So there's the Chariot. Third card, Hierophant upright. Okay. So whenever you know that moving on is going to be right for you, because it's going to reconnect you with your personhood and your rightness as a personhood, as a person. Okay. What I mean by that is, if you felt insecure about the things that you want to do with yourself, moving on from whatever negativity has held you in that is going to, yeah, it's gonna help. It's gonna help you rediscover parts of yourself. Okay. Again, I hope that makes sense. There's the Hierophant. Let's see. Our hidden and clarifying energy. Okay. Wow, we're getting a lot of this. We have the Death and Rebirth card. There's some change in energy, okay, especially around you right now. Um, yeah, there's a lot of change in energy, and it's time to move on. Yeah, it's time to move on from whatever negativity has held you back. Okay, all right, that's our hidden energy, and our clarifying energy is the Queen of Cups. So, yeah, you part of your personhood, part of your part of your personhood is that you thrive on your emotions. You thrive on what you feel. You thrive on creating connections with people that are deep and emotional in their own right. And that's what you nurture. That's what you use to do the work of an empath, right? And I've brought that up a lot because um, I do sense there's a deeply warm-hearted, compassionate person who is watching this video right now, who has probably had things uh, things happen to them that have felt really bad. Um, and again, that could be people taking advantage or, you know, using your empathic energy without thinking of giving back, right? So back to our Queen of Cups, that you're an emotional person, and that's okay. That's perfect. It's perfect. Okay. Um, this is, you understand the world from an emotional space, and the fact that things are changing and you're being called to move on might be one of the scariest things you go through, but I do think, I do think you have, um, you have what it takes to navigate it. You're not going this energy alone. Things aren't changing around you without your highest good being taken into account, and you're not going through this alone. Okay. Again, I'm hoping all of this makes sense. Let's get into our bonus reading and see what we need to see from here. Okay. So first card for a bonus reading, we have the Peacock. Okay. We have the Bear, use your power with wisdom. Okay. We have Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations and the divine plan. Okay. And we also have movement. Okay. So again, I feel like we're moving on, but we're moving on with a renewed sense of our power. There's something here that is saying, okay, it's time to go. And yeah, it's time to go. And it's time to use the power you've developed in order to do that. Now, what is that power, you might ask, right? It's the power of being yourself. It's the power of letting your inner beauty shine. Okay, and I'm getting there with the peacock because they have all of these really beautiful sprays of their feathers. And actually recently got the good fortune to see one live. I've never seen one up close, and I was able to see a peacock up close recently, which is an interesting blessing to have. Yeah, so back to the original point, the power you have is the power of being yourself and letting your light absolutely shine through. Okay. All right. So there's our oracle reading. Let's get into our bonus tarot reading. Okay, we have the Eight of Fire. Okay, we have the King of Cups. Okay, we have the Three of Wands. Okay, and we have the Lovers. So right off the bat, we have some choices to make. We have some choices to make. We have an opportunity to really game plan our next moves, and I'm getting there because of Three of Wands. We're looking out over the things that we have in front of us, and we do need to make some choices on how we move forward in accepting what we have, what we will accept, the kinds of energy and the kinds of physical things we'll bring into ourselves. Okay, all of that is kind of couched within this choice. We also need to be patient right now because things are going to start moving. Things are really going to start moving ahead for us. Okay, but we need to be ready, but we need to be aware that this is going to happen. Okay, we've got a lot of information coming at us within the next couple of days, months, weeks, whatever the timeline looks like for you. But again, we're being called to pay attention and see what's up here. Because at some point our ship will come in. At some point we will be asked to make a forward movement. And it's up to us whether we stay comfortable or whether we move forward. Okay. Now I'm seeing the Lovers. For some of you, this could be a romantic entanglement you're choosing to get into. You know what's on your heart, but um, ultimately following your heart is going to be what brings you, what brings you into, what brings you into this needing to make a choice. Okay, there's the Lovers. Um, and with all of this, again, we have the King of Cups here. So, that's interesting. We have the Queen of Cups in the main reading too. So there's counterpart cards here. Why that's significant is, again, and also this is a repeat card. So again, um, taking what you feel, listening to what you feel, and instead of being reactive to what you're feeling, analyzing it, analyzing your emotions, and using them to navigate your space during this time. Okay, so there's our bonus reading, and that was our reading for this week, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you coming to this reading. Again, if you find that this resonates with you, please go ahead, click all the buttons, check the description for all of the links and the decks I've used. I hope this helps in some way, and that you will come back next week for a new reading. But until then, stay safe. I love you guys, and I will see you very soon. Bye, everybody.